Squeak, squeak, squeak animals. I just came back from a show. I was a great big spooky frickin' vampire with a gold chain. The chain is for tucking my cape in so that it don't hit the damn toilet. Yeah, so today I got some very exciting news that there was a YouTube video that I clicked on that was called Alberta Table's Proposed Gender Policies Aimed at Youth, and I was like, oh, they wrote that. These people are on my frickin' side, right?
Are designed and intended to help preserve the choices children have.
That's how Alberta's Premier defends it.
Hell yeah, the choices children frickin' have. I already know 2 detransitioners. Trans people are supposed to be 0.3% of the population. People have completely forgotten that at this point. You only get about 12 freaking years to be a child and all, and then you turn into a teenager and everybody thinks that you have to know your identity. You have to freaking make efforts to do with your identity what your friends are doing with theirs. And the way that kids are being pushed these days to use social media, rabbit holes they fall into on there, it's really hurting them to go frickin' into that. They are given so little choices by the far left of what they can be that's actually adheres to their idea of special and different, which is the one thing you have to be. Every family, every block, every friend group has a different culture, right? Some people are all about work, some people are all about fricking, you have to do this and that to be a good person and whatnot, and the left, you gotta be trying to be special and different, and a victim. You always have to talk about things that people have done to you to hurt you and ways that you've ruined your life and whatnot. Anyway, let's play the video.
Of policies aimed at trans youth.
We've looked around the world and we think that this is the appropriate method to go forward to make sure that everybody's rights are protected and everybody's choices are protected.
The changes ban all...
Yeah, see, that's the one right they don't frickin' talk about on the far left. The right for, a child to be a child without medical intervention, because they've proven already that if you delay puberty, it's extremely bad for you. People want to make it about that you can delay it so that the kid gets to choose without a set of features that they wouldn't frickin' want. But thing is, you got a 0.3% of your kid even frickin' being that, and a way worse percent chance of your kid having a fricking spine issue after doing a puberty blocker. So they're very clearly dangerous and should only be used for severe disabilities and whatnot.
Trans athletes from participating in female leagues in schools, post-secondaries, or amateur provincial sports. It also...
I like that. The trans sports ban, that one is extremely necessary. I mean, the fact that parents have to go to these events and boo the fricking trans athletes, completely outpacing the young girls, as a trans guy, that's wrong. So little kids get into athletics these days because their parents just legit don't frickin' care if their kids are active or not. That's another thing the left has really tried to ruin people with. This whole being proud of being extremely unhealthy and telling other people that they should do the same and that they can't hate the fat version of themselves. That's not what working out has ever been about. They're going to find a way to deal with the trans athletes in schools, and the way to not do that is putting people in the same boat in terms of weight class even, are not even on the same frickin' page. It's ridiculous.
Requires parental consent for kids 15 and under to change their pronoun or name in schools.
Yes. You see, if they had done that when I was a frickin' kid, my life would have been different. I wouldn't have spent so much time thinking, oh, what are my parents going to think? What are my parents going to think? And being, a little weenie bitch about it. Really, we could have a better society if we just let trans men be men and actually have to man up and tell their parents, because 15 is an important frickin' age. If you're so far apart from your parents that you can't even tell them that you're trans, most parents these days aren't going to poop themselves when they hear that something's going on with their kid's identity. Well, that's kind of what you sign up for as a parent. Your kid may be having a different religion than you, a different viewpoint, a different frickin' job, and then your kid ends up being some sort of artist. You can't entirely be pissed about that because your kid's still fricking alive. There's a lot of parents that can't say that these days. A lot of people just get caught up being so split off, right?
parents will now need to opt in before students can learn any subject matter dealing with sex, gender identity, or sexual orientation.
I remember when I was going to get sex ed for the first time, you know, the great big one where they actually tell you what sex is instead of just being about who's got a dick or not. It's a consent form that just says, your kid's gonna learn about puberty. Are you okay with that? Check the box, yes, no. And I remember saying to my mom, oh man, I don't want to learn about that. I know that's about dicks. That's gross. I don't want to learn about dicks. I was 9. These are the age groups that we're working with here. It's like people have forgotten what a child is and think that, you know, a kid is so worldly. Oh, you know yourself, but you've never experienced actually being a full frickin' man. And you can't because you're a child. You'd only be a boy at frickin' most if you even can be. Play a sport, just at least put it out there, you know? Even if you don't like that, whatever. Have your kid doing something to be a man. No, never be raising some trans guy that just wants to be on social media all the time and wear red lipstick and cry about being misgendered at school. We're not doing that. No. Someday when I get my own freaking house and family and I get a kid, however that's gonna work, that's just not gonna happen. No one is gonna be sitting around saying, I've got no friends, I've got no purpose in life. We're not doing that.
Medical professionals will be banned from providing gender reassignment surgeries under the age of 18.
See, it's the same frickin' thing for breast implants. You'd have to find a real crooked surgeon for that. Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine. You can get your dick switched around until, you know, you got your colon in your dick, basically. That's what they do when someone turns into a trans woman. They have one of the surgeries which involves, for whatever frickin' reason, they cut out a piece of your colon. They stitch it in there, and that's the hole that you're gonna frickin' use now. And if you're thinking, man, that sure sounds unsanitary, I wonder how many people get infections from that, you'd be right. And no, I don't know the number, but it's frickin' high, as you would assume. Couldn't think of a part of the body to put onto something so sensitive that can, you know, rack up STDs and all. Shouldn't have even been an option. Under 18, you wouldn't do any surgery on the face of a child, so why would you do the frickin' work on the body of them, you know? You need this to feed a child if you're gonna do that. If you make a mistake and you say, hey, I want to, you know, just be a normal chick and be a mother, then you've screwed yourself. You can't stitch this back on. There is no this. You've taken it off and it's gone. I know somebody who's going back on it. People go back on this, but it's never the same. You don't want this happening. It shouldn't be an option for your kid to all of a sudden be so miserable because a lack of a law. Finally, we have a frickin' law, at least in the one of 13 provinces and territories we got. So many places to pass these rules, and I want to see more places actually speaking up for parental rights. I was told that parental rights are a bad frickin' idea, and I was like, really? Parental rights. They're gonna exercise parental rights. We all got rights. It's kind of totalitarian to say that you shouldn't have parental rights. I don't trust any government people to have care of a child. Think of the foster system. That's government care. So what are we doing with that? That is just damn near impossible to get right, really.
Will be banned from prescribing hormone therapy or puberty blockers to anyone under the age of 16.
We won. We won, you guys. Hell yes. And I was offered all this when I transitioned, you know. My doctor offered to get me onto the, you know, the pipeline for puberty blockers, testosterone, top surgery, and bottom surgery. She offered to get me signed up on all those lists on the first appointment. Yeah, I was like, no, I really don't want to frickin' do anything that I haven't researched, and I know where I want to go with this. There's no frickin' fiddling around about this, basically. I know I'm trans since 2007. I just didn't know what to do about it. I could have been signed up for all that, but I was very firm no, and I'd already waited 7 years to transition on purpose, because I really did not want to make a mistake. People don't fear making a mistake as much as they should in this. That's your whole body. I mean, imagine speaking with this voice as a chick. I really wish I could help detransitioners in some way, because that's got to be a lot to deal with.
A lot of people their lives are going to be completely ruined by this legislation.
What? The first time I saw the clip, I did not even see that part. Wow. This legislation is going to ruin people's lives by giving them an extra couple of years to think about it all? I mean, for frick's sake. And trying to completely pass as a man or a woman as fast as possible, that's not a hugely great idea, because then, you get a lot of these trans guys that don't want to tell men and women that they're dating that they're trans. That's really screwy. That's not right at all. I mean, if you're trans, you're trans about. That's what children say. Oh, I'm scared. I don't want to tell you this. And that also means that you're with people that you're not even close to. So why are you in that relationship if you can't tell someone that you're trans? So yeah, I just wanted to bring that to people's attention and give my 2 cents on it. I am a bisexual trans guy. I'm 25 years old. Here's my freaking opinion on the whole issue. I wanted to speak up within, the past couple of years, as I've fallen out of the far left and all the ways they get their talons into you when you've spent your whole adolescence on social media. I wanted to speak up on that, but the far left is so chronically online in ways that people did not think possible before, and they will do anything to fricking shut you down and censor you and ruin your fricking life. So I know a lot of people that are pretty far on the frickin' left, far left is relative. I know a lot of people that come off as they wouldn't, go completely ruin another person's life for political reasons, but I can never be sure of that. I can never be sure that the far left won't release crickets into your fricking show just because they don't like your political opinions. I mean, the right is filled with far more ex-leftists than ever before. So it's very diluted. You're looking at real watered down right-wing people. The left wants to stereotype us all, but the thing is, a lot of posts about the right come from America, where people are actually real conservatives and actually live on, the Bible Belt. There's mega churches and stuff. I didn't even know mega churches were a thing until I saw it on World's Strictest Parents. And even then, I didn't understand that it makes so much money from that they got Yeezys and stupid man buns and fog machines. And in Canada, it could not be further left, basically. There are lots of young people here that have the age to vote, and they want communism. But this is who is voting. So, all of us normal people have got to frickin' stand up and actually get to the polls and whatnot. I didn't do that this year because I wasn't really paying attention. I was reading book every week or two, so it's been a lot of reading and a lot of watching the fricking French channel because I am trying to learn French. So if you have any advice on that, drop them my way. But otherwise, I am so glad that Alberta stood up to this complete frickin' nonsense. But yeah, squeak. Out.